This is a video that I desperately hoped I wouldn't have to make. Red Dead Online is a complete and utter disaster. It's a joke. It's embarrassing. It is so bad that I had to stop my in-depth analysis of the online that I've been working on for months and put this video out instead. The community is fed up, and so am I. There are decent videos out there that show some of the flaws of the game, but none of those videos are filled with the passion that the fans are feeling when it comes to this game's shortcomings. I tried to wait and hope that someone would accurately describe the atrocities that Rockstar has committed, but I'm not waiting any longer. Red Dead Redemption 2's Online, or better known as Red Dead Online, is one of the most utterly broken AAA experiences that I have ever seen in my 20-some years of gaming. And if you're at all interested in seeing me prove this statement, I urge you to subscribe to my channel. I'll be putting out the most in-depth video to date on the state of Red Dead Online and where it is today. I'll be exploring everything from the story to the graphical downgrades, but for now, I'm pretty fucking pissed off. So, let me tell you why. I, myself, like most of you who clicked on this video, am just done with Rockstar's feeble attempts to make this game into an actual game. I mean, the game isn't even playable for the most part. The poor souls who are playing on PlayStation and Xbox are getting disconnected now more than ever thanks to the most recent update. Hell, I'd even consider them the lucky ones because when the game does load, you're introduced to hundreds of bugs that this game has been absolutely riddled with since launch. Bugs that have existed since the first minutes that the online was released almost 2 years ago. The only games that come to mind when thinking of something this broken off the top of my head are Anthem and Star Citizen, but at least Star Citizen has the excuse of being in a pre-alpha and their entire engine being scrapped, whereas Anthem has just been completely abandoned by EA and is dead. If Rockstar keeps heading down this path, Red Dead Online is as good as Anthem. Dead. Before I go way in on this game, let me get some positives out of the way. Before this update, Rockstar seemed to have been going down a decent path as far as Red Dead Online was concerned. We were getting regular updates, the Frontier Pursuits were a great addition to the game, adding a bunch of new fun activities to tackle with your friends. When they first came out, they were reasonably priced at 15 gold for each pursuit. And trust me, 15 gold was doable to somebody who played the game on a regular basis, did the daily challenges, as well as acquiring their treasure awarded to them every 5 levels. Even then, if you were new and didn't want to work for it, you could at the very least have bought the one-time purchase of 25 gold bars for $5 US, and still have leftover gold to do with whatever you wanted. I mean, this is no longer actually the case, and I will get to that later. However, the point I was trying to make is that the prices are fair, and all things considered with Rockstar, I mean, that's as fair as gonna get. They even added small quality of life improvements to the core gameplay itself, like faster movement while in combat and reload times, as well as hasty looting and weapon animations. They even added something simple like being able to bump into NPCs and knock them down like you can in single player, which is super commendable because it shows that they're actually listening to the fans. Or, well, were listening to the fans. Whatever. Shooting at bounties, outlaws, lawmen, or even those damn O'Driscolls with your friends is just as satisfying as it is in single player, if not more so thanks to the wider and growing weapon selection in the online. Dressing up your character is also great and makes every character look very unique that you run into. Tons of new clothing items are added and removed all the time, including ponchos, bandoliers, and gun belts. Needless to say, on the cosmetic end, Rockstar is actually doing quite a good job, and they should keep this up, but stop with the silly items, please. Like, it ruins the immersion, okay? Like, when I'm running around and I see somebody wearing a hat the size of a house, and it's rainbow colored, and there's feathers coming off of it, it's quite distracting. Like, enough of that. We don't need that GTA 5 Saints Row bullshit bleeding into the Red Dead Online experience. That's enough of that. Leave that shit out. As far as the mainline missions go, they're pretty fun when they're working, that is, and they all have good voice acting as well as motion capture performances that are done just as well as they are in single player. And unfortunately, that's where my praises end. I mean, sometimes the game can look absolutely stunning, and then other times it can look like dog shit. There have been reports of terrible frame rate chugging, even on the highest NPCs, and the jump between ultra and high for the texture settings is so unbelievable, it makes me wonder why they even have a high and it's not just ultra and low. I'm serious, some of the textures are literally unrecognizable. There's no excuse for this. Okay, so where do I even begin? For the sake of brevity, I'm going to list off the main issues that the online has and go more in depth on the issues that I have personally experienced. I mean, there are tons of issues that I will never be able to cover in a shorter video like this, such as something, for instance, like the downscaling of the visual quality from the single player to the online. I mean, that in itself is a video, and there's so much detail to that I would never be able to cover. The litany of game-breaking bugs, though I will cover some of them in this video, but not all of them. Something simple like not being able to sell guns, horses, or saddles, but instead just discarding them, even though you spend hundreds of dollars on these items. It just makes no sense. The useless versus mode that is just dead and boring as fuck. I mean, they have about as much creativity and thought put into them as which pair of socks I decided to put on this morning. Like, honestly, the PvP in general in this game is pretty fucking shit. Oh, let me just pull out a bow with explosive arrows and just use paint it black to get a headshot in Deadeye. Yeah, that's fucking weak. And don't even get me started on playing this game on console. The fucking auto-aim makes me want to smash my Xbox to bits. The fact that we can't rob stores or banks yet in a fucking Wild Wild West simulator, like, Rockstar, hello? Do you need some creative directors with half a brain cell to lead the online team? Because I'm available. Huh? Oh, what's that? You'd rather just not put out an update for 7 months straight? No, okay, that's fine. Oh, what was that? You want to put out an update after the 7-month break and then break the game beyond belief? Ah, sure, why the fuck not? That sounds like a great idea. I'm sure that won't destroy the fan base that is barely clinging on to life at this point. Anyway, the ridiculous prices for certain animals, like for real, why the fuck is a perfect buck worth more than a perfect elk pelt, moose pelt, or cougar? Like, who decided that was even fair? How does that even come into your head at the meeting for deciding the prices for the online for animal pelts? I don't understand how you can all sit at this fucking meeting and be like, oh yeah, sure, let's make this really easy animal that's plentiful as fuck to catch, let's make that worth the most out of every fucking animal in the game. Like, it makes you not want to spend your time hunting. It makes you not want to bother hunting these hard to find animals or these dangerous hunts. Like, there's just no point when you can just go and find a buck and bring it back. That's all it is. Any path that you choose should be viable. I mean, someone who hunts and fishes should be netting the same amount as a bounty hunter or a robber. I mean, when there are only 2 or 3 decent ways to make money in this game, it makes the player feel as if they have no choice but to do the same stuff over and over, thus making the game repetitive as hell. And some of those things that they have to do over and over might not even be the activities they like to do in the game. Give the player more choice. Then again, the player doesn't really get much of a choice when the game itself doesn't even work. Things like sudden disconnection, character models glitching out, not spawning with weapons that you chose, your horse being 10 times dumber than it used to be, infinite loading screens, not being able to accept stranger missions, not being able to see or enter your moonshine shack, various visual bugs such as your hair bugging out, your weapons being lower on your back when you had recently carried someone on your shoulder, your horse's tail and mane despawning, as well as your saddle not being on your horse at all, the "you recently damaged someone's horse" message that pops up at seemingly random moments, not being able to speak to shop owners or butchers, also getting kicked out of the wardrobe and or having a random player be in the wardrobe with you, blocking your view, not collecting an item or loot after going through the animation to pick it up. This one isn't even really a bug, but hackers on PC. I mean, they for sure need to be fixed. I know Rockstar said recently that they're coming out with some sort of complaint filer that will have real humans reading them. So there's the hope that they will actually read the complaints that are being filed and then ban the person. But who knows how true that even is, considering it's not out yet. I mean, there are shitloads of bugs. I mean, there's so many. I can't even name all of them in this video without the video having to be 40 minutes long. And I'm saving that for my in-depth analysis. But I want to touch more on the bugs that I've been experiencing the most over the past couple weeks that I've been playing the game, up until the new update, and then the bugs that are still here from the update and the ones that have gotten worse due to the update. So right off the bat, I'm going to be tackling one of the worst bugs in the game, and that has seemingly gone overlooked over the past almost 2 years the game has been out. I never see people talking about this, but Rockstar, what the fuck is up with not being awarded cash or XP upon mission completion? I can speak from a first-hand experience with this bug. I have been playing Red Dead Online since its launch, since the day it launched, and this bug has existed since then, and the bug is still in full effect to this very day. I say it's one of the worst bugs in the game, not because it's game-breaking, not because it causes some disgusting visual bug that makes you want to turn the game off. No, I say it's the worst bug because it just ruins your incentive. Why would you want to continue to play a game where you know that there's a possibility that you might not get rewarded for all of your hard work? That thought should never be in your head when playing a AAA game. You should never have the thought in your head, oh man, I wonder if I'm actually going to get rewarded for completing this mission. Man, I wonder if I'll get an appropriate amount of money after completing this mission. Boy, I sure hope I get XP so I can level up in this mission. It's ridiculous. How is this still a problem, and how aren't more people talking about it? It happens to me all the time. And when you're not just outright not getting rewarded, you're getting rewards that are just demonstrably smaller than what you should be getting. Sometimes when you complete a mission, one person will have $60 and the other person will get $6. It doesn't make any sense. There's no consistency to it. It seems that at random, Rockstar just decides whether or not you're going to get a good reward or not for your mission that you do. My friends and I will complete legendary bounty missions, and at the end, some of us will be awarded nothing. Some of us will be awarded a very tiny amount. And then the super rare chance that we all get rewarded, the actual amount that you're supposed to receive isn't even there. I've heard that the bounty hunter missions are kind of fucked at the moment and the payouts are way lower than they should be. I can attest to that myself, because sometimes I'll get $16 for a legendary bounty and other times I'll get $70. I mean, the fact that I've been playing this game for almost 2 years and I have no idea as to the reason why I get a low reward sometimes and then a high reward sometimes, I mean, that's insane. I should know what I'm going to be receiving for what I'm doing. It shouldn't just be random. It shouldn't just be nothing sometimes. I should be getting a set number for the work I'm putting in. If I'm doing a mission on the hardest difficulty, there should be a set reward for that. It shouldn't be the same amount as the easiest difficulty. It should be double whatever the easiest difficulty is, or tripled, or however many difficulties there are, because there's quite a few for the legendary bounties. Some of those missions, you get 0 lives, and the enemies do way more damage than they do on other difficulties. So you're putting in all this extra effort for a reward that you might not even get, for one, or might be lower, if not the same, as the easiest difficulty. It just makes no sense. There needs to be some consistency with the way that the difficulty rewards work. The free roam bounty hunter missions suffer from the same problem the legendary bounty hunter missions have. Sometimes I'll get $15 and sometimes I'll get $3. It's ridiculous. Sometimes the reward that is promised for the mission completion is just flat out progression in the story. Well, the Moonshiners have had a fucking field day with this glitch because tons of people just can't even progress through the Moonshiner story mode at all. In fact, the gameplay that's on screen is gameplay from the Moonshiner story mode that I was doing with a friend. It's a snippet from my live stream that was live on Twitch, twitch.tv/memealchemy. All we were trying to do was progress through the Moonshiner story missions so that he could get his Moonshiner XP. Well, it took us 5 attempts to then complete this mission and have it actually count. And then, on top of that, it took 2 different game sessions just to get it to work in general. 2 separate days of us trying these missions just to progress past the first mission. We would complete the first mission where we save Lem, and then we would go talk to Maggie at the Moonshiner Shack, and she would say, "Oh, my nephew Lem is locked up. You gotta break him out." It's like, bitch, I did it fucking 5 times. What more do I have to do? I mean, when your game is suffering from bugs like this 2 years after launch, I don't even know what to say. Like, why? Why does this exist still? It's been fucking almost 2 years. It doesn't make any sense. I know I sound pretty heated, right? I have very good reason to be. I have been supporting this game since launch. That's the last time I'll say it. I expect so much more from Rockstar, and I just keep getting let down. We wanted to play the Moonshiner missions because we hadn't really experienced too much of it yet. My friend had just gotten the PC version of the game, so we were starting new with new online characters for the PC because previously we had played on Xbox. Well, obviously when you start out, you don't have very much gold to your name. So, we wanted to buy the Moonshiner Frontier Pursuit. And what we figured out is that you actually have to do a trader mission before you can actually unlock the Moonshiner. However, there's a way to bypass this. In the pause menu, when you go to the different pursuits, you can actually spend 5 gold to progress past the trader part of it and just bypass it, basically. So, my friend buys the expedited process. So that's 5 gold right there. And then what we find out is that after you buy the 5 gold to skip past the trader part, you still have to spend 25 gold. I understand that this is Rockstar's way of trying to make money with these new rules that they put out, but the fact that it costs 25 gold, especially after having spent 5 just to skip the trader process, is ridiculous. This wouldn't be nearly as bad if the original 3 Frontier Pursuits, the Bounty Hunter, the Trader, and the Collector, didn't cost 15 gold at the beginning. Rockstar has just now decided that from now on, the new rules are going to cost 25 gold. So basically, if you don't want to sit there and grind in a broken game to earn 25 gold, then you're spending $10 extra on a broken game to get a role that is inherently already broken. You can't do the storyline missions if you can't progress. You can't earn XP if every time you go to sell moonshine, you get no reward, but you lose your moonshine anyway. How are you expected to progress through this role and feel vindicated in your purchase of $10 worth of microtransactions if you can't even progress through it and have fun and play it the way it was intended? It is absurd. And yeah, you heard me right. We literally sold a full batch of moonshine, and we got nothing for it. We delivered the moonshine, we did it perfectly, we didn't lose a single bottle, and we got there, and then after the wagon disappears and the mission's completed, we're rewarded with nothing. No money, no XP, he earned no moonshiner XP, certainly. We're just sitting there with our thumbs up our asses like, why did we just do that? Oh, but certainly Rockstar wouldn't just take away the moonshine as well. I mean, we didn't get anything for selling it, so we shouldn't have lost anything for selling it either, right? I mean, you gained nothing, but you lost nothing, so no big deal. Well, no, because when you do this and this happens, you lose the moonshine. It acts as if you have done the transaction. You have gained the money for selling the moonshine to the buyer, and now you have no product, and now you need to make more product, which also costs money. So basically, Rockstar just reached into our fucking wallets and took money, and then laughed in our faces, and then sent us on our way. This happened 2 times, by the way. So you can understand why someone would be discouraged from wanting to play the Moonshiner role at this point. these problems aren't just exclusive to the Moonshiner either. There are many reports that the new naturalist rule has just had no luck finding any legendary animals, and when you do find legendary animals, you don't get the reward for finding them. The trader has the same problem as the Moonshiner. Sometimes when you deliver all of your product, you just get nothing. The bounty hunter rule as well. You turn in a bounty and you just get nothing. No XP, no money, no reward, no bounty hunter XP, nothing. Lastly, and certainly not least, the collector can gain nothing from selling the items that they've collected. They will just gain no collector XP, no money, no nothing. On top of all of this, you have these prices for items such as clothing, horses, wagons, stuff for your camp, your weapons, customizing your weapons. There's all these things, and the prices are fucking ridiculous still to this day. And I'm not even talking about the cash price for some of these items. I'm referring to some items that you literally have no choice but to spend gold bars on. The fact that I have to spend 10 gold on a fucking eye patch is ridiculous. Good luck if you want to customize a gun and make it all gold, because you're going to need to take out a bank loan for that. I know there are some of you out there who don't think any of these things are problems, and I totally sympathize with the fact that you want to defend a game that you love playing casually. But there are also a ton of people who sit here and just want to experience the game, and they can't due to these fucking bugs that have existed for as long as the game's been available, since launch, since the beta days of the online. I mean, it's gone on for too long. There needs to be a change. I can go on forever. This was intended to be a shorter video, just vocalizing some of the issues that have gone just unanswered for a while, and I'm getting pretty fed up with it, so I'm putting this video out there for anyone who is feeling the same way I am about the current state of Red Dead Online. This video is for you, Rockstar. You need to make a change or you're going to lose what little fan base you have left. I love this game. I want it to be great, but I can't lie and say that it's great now, because it's not. It has a lot of work that needs done, and we're pretty far away from a perfect experience in this game, at least. So let's see a roadmap, let's see some improvement, let's see some communication with the fan base. You're taking steps in the right direction as far as this new update with listening to what the fans want, but it's a matter of executing what the fans want, not just listening and putting it in, but putting it in properly without ruining the rest of the game. Thank you for listening to someone who cares just a little too much about his cowboy shoot-'em-up yeehaw simulator. I hope that anyone who's fed up with the state of Red Dead Online finds this video and can feel some sort of vindication knowing that there's someone out there who feels the same as them. I guess we took off our clown makeup a little too early. Huh, guys?